The US auto industry is facing a new and unexpected threat, not from China, not from Europe, but from Canada. What started as a simple tariff dispute has spiraled into a full-scale trade war that could shake the foundations of American car manufacturing. Prices are rising, jobs are at risk, and some of the biggest names in the industry, Tesla, Ford, General Motors, are now caught in the crossfire. But how did we get here? And what does this mean for the future of North America's economy? Stay with us as we break it all down. The trade war that no one saw coming. Trade disputes between the US and Canada aren't new, but this time, something is different. The United States slapped a 25% tariff on key Canadian exports. In response, Canada struck back with a calculated and targeted counterattack, placing heavy tariffs on electric vehicles, auto parts, agriculture, and even bourbon exports. But the biggest blow? The auto industry. Tesla and the EV industry under fire. Tesla, the symbol of American innovation, is in serious trouble. The company depends on Canadian-sourced nickel, lithium, and aluminum, critical materials for making electric vehicle batteries. Now, with Canada imposing strict tariffs, Tesla's costs are soaring. Will they raise prices, cut production, or struggle to stay competitive? And it's not just Tesla. Ford, GM, and Rivian are feeling the heat too. The entire US EV industry could be derailed before it even reaches mass adoption. The crumbling North American auto supply chain. The US and Canada have one of the most interconnected auto supply chains in the world. A single car's parts might cross the border dozens of times before final assembly. Now, that smooth flow is breaking apart. Ford is already warning of job cuts. General Motors is slowing production. And American consumers? They're about to feel it in their wallets. With fewer cars rolling off the production line, prices are about to skyrocket. Ironically, these tariffs were meant to protect American jobs, but instead, they're forcing automakers to look overseas for cheaper alternatives. A political game of high stakes. This isn't just about cars, it's now a major political showdown. 1. Donald Trump's protectionist trade policies were meant to boost US manufacturing, but now they're hurting swing state workers. 2. Justin Trudeau is fighting back, framing Canada's tariffs as a stand against economic bullying. 3. And with the 2024 elections approaching, neither side is willing to back down. Canada's secret weapon, energy. But here's the real twist. Canada's ultimate leverage isn't cars, it's energy. The US relies heavily on Canadian oil, natural gas, and electricity. If Canada decides to cut oil exports or raise prices, gas prices in the US could skyrocket overnight. Imagine a scenario where New York, Chicago, or Detroit face rolling blackouts because of a shortage in Canadian electricity. It hasn't happened yet, but Canada knows this card is on the table. The global domino effect, and it doesn't stop there. This trade war is shaking up global alliances. 1. China is stepping in to strengthen trade ties with Canada. 2. Europe is watching closely, reconsidering its own economic strategies. 3. Developing nations in South America, Africa, and Southeast Asia are seizing the opportunity to step into the North American market void. If the US loses long-term access to Canadian resources, it could mean years of economic decline. The cost for everyday Americans. But what does this mean for you? 1. New and used car prices will surge. Buying a car could soon be out of reach for millions. 2. Appliances, electronics, and even home construction materials will cost more. 3. More American jobs will be lost as factories shut down. Instead of protecting American workers, these tariffs are making life harder. Labor shortages and an economy under pressure. Beyond cars, the US economy is struggling with labor shortages and rising inflation. 1. Farms can't find workers. Food prices are rising. 2. Construction and manufacturing face severe labor shortages. 3. Strict immigration policies are making things even worse. And inflation? It's driving up the cost of living faster than wages can keep up. What comes next? The US is at a critical crossroads. Will it find a way to ease trade tensions with Canada? Or will it continue down a path of economic isolation? There is still time to act. 1. Rolling back extreme tariffs could stabilize supply chains. 2. A smarter immigration policy could fill labor shortages. 3. Balancing inflation control with economic growth is key. Final thought. The future of the U.S. economy, the world is watching. Will America rebuild and adapt? Or are we looking at the start of a long-term decline? One thing's for sure, the decisions made in the next few months will shape the economy for years to come. What do you think? Is America headed for an economic rebound, or are we in for a rough ride ahead? Let us know in the comments below.